Hey guys, welcome back. It is Thursday, June 7th, and today you are being sponsored by Kanaha, I think is how you say that, Blonde Ale, because it's been one of those days. So it's supposed to be like it's a seasonal ale, and I think it's supposed to have mango added, but I don't really taste the mango, so. But easy to drink. Highly recommend. So for those of you that watched my Stitch with Me, thank you for all the comments left so far, by the way. It's only been up for a day and I've already had a few. We had a major shakeup at work, and it's not going to take effect until July 1st, which is our first official day of the school year, even though it's summer. But basically my school is losing all of its administration, and we're getting completely new administration. So it's going to be a rocky road for the next several months. Our new principal, I'm gonna try to make this kind of short since you guys have kind of already heard it, but if you watch my video, but basically our new principal has never worked in a home study program before, and they just became a principal in general. So there's a lot of learning that's going to be going on between all of the different areas, I guess you could say. But it's just sad because we really liked our old administration team, so it's changed. Hopefully it'll turn out to be good. But we only have one more week of school, and graduation is on Wednesday. So that being said, it's been very stressful. Luckily, I do get a week off. I'm doing summer school this year, but I do get a week off the week after next. So I kind of forgot to mention it to my husband, and he has to work, so oops, oh well, whole week of stitching. I'm trying to get everything done as much as I can tomorrow, like grade-wise and stuff. I still have a couple of students that have a few things to finish, but I'm hoping to have everything done on time, so that I don't have to stress the week we come back about finishing grades and all that, because we do have professional development meetings that week after we come back. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I had kind of forgotten about our week off too, myself, actually forgot. So I'm really glad that we'll be able to have that week of hopefully stress-free bliss. I have no plans for that week as far as what I'm going to stitch. It's all just going to be whatever I feel like. Super low stress because summer school is very stressful. Although I think it actually won't be as bad this year. We usually have 500 students, or we had 450 last year. This year we're only going to have 300, so it shouldn't actually be quite as bad as it normally is. And we still hired the same amount of teachers and tutors that we normally have, so shouldn't be, I'm hoping it's not that as stressful as it has in the past. So let's get on to stitching. I only have 2 projects to show you. I did work on George Washington a little bit, but I only put in 1 or 2 rows, so I'm not even going to bother showing you guys. I'll show you once I finish the row of 10 pages, which that's my only goal for the week I'm gone, or the week I'm off, is to finish up that row of pages. So sorry about that. I'm not going to edit that out. I have tape holding you guys to my, it's on my list, I'm going to get an actual iPhone tripod. But for the moment, you're on a camera tripod, and that's why I'm a little crooked, actually. Let me fix it. And you're held up by tape. So we're being a little, oops. Come on. I think that's straight. But yeah, I hope to make that a little bit better next time. There we go. Hopefully that stays. I did order, so I have a little bit of stash that I will show you guys. I did buy a lot of stuff, but most of it is non-stitching related, so I'm not even going to bother showing that to you. A couple of patterns I had bought and forgot about, so you'll see those. It's only 2. And I think that's pretty much all I'm going to have stash-wise, so a super short stash video. So I will show you guys that, but first let me show you where I'm at with my stitching. So if you guys saw my video, then you'll already be pretty familiar with where I'm at, but with, actually I don't even know if you saw it all, but with Princess Aurora, here is where she is now. Before, I didn't have any of this backstitching done, and I didn't have any of this purple. I also didn't have, and the backstitching includes her hand, I also didn't have the sleeve, and I think that's it. Everything else I had. So, here is a close-up of the backstitching. So it starts right about here. You might see my cat's tail. The backstitching actually went pretty fast. I wanted to get her hand in just to make sure that everything matched up, and it does. And I put her sleeve on simply because I didn't like her just having a floating hand, especially with the backstitching. So I put in a little bit of the sleeve, which is 161. Sorry, now you're moving because my cat's rubbing her head against the stand. And it's kind of hard to see the backstitching in the sleeve, but it's like gold Krynic swirls. Focus. I think my front camera focuses very well, but that's the only way I can make sure I'm showing you guys right. There is another, excuse you, give me that. There is another part of the purple that comes down this way, and basically this is supposed to look like it's draped over her arm, and the rest of her arm comes down here and ends right about here. So, but I love what the backstitching does in this piece and how much detail it adds. Would you stop it? So that is why I am trying to backstitch as I go, just 'cause otherwise it'd basically be a big blob of different colors. And even like the backstitching up here, the blue, I don't think I had that last time either. That even adds quite a bit. So this whole piece has backstitching that goes around the outside of all of it, which I will do just to add a little bit more definition. And it's the same color as her eyelashes, which is like a dark red, and it's the same color as the backstitching down here, but it's using 3 strands instead of 1. So that'll go around the entire piece. So that won't get done until the end. Once I get this part of her dress done, finish out her hair over here, and do like her neck and stuff in here, like the rest of her neck before it starts her actual bodice. Once I get those done, I will start beading. I believe that's where it's at. Because of the way the pattern has the beads, it kind of starts down here, goes around, and then stops over here. There's a ton more beading in the skirt and stuff, but I figure that's a good like starting and stopping point that I'll be able, because I don't highlight or anything, so I'll be able to see or like to know where I started and stopped because I have a more natural break, I guess you could say, in the beads. So that's my goal. Well, not really goal, but that's where I'm at with her. I am going to finish the purple in like that other part of the purple right after we finish up here. I don't have any plans this weekend, so hopefully I can get even more stitching in, but whatever I don't finish tomorrow, I'm going to finish, or like whatever I don't finish work-wise tomorrow, I'm going to have to spend time over the weekend finishing, so we'll see where I am with that. It should be pretty quiet tomorrow because like I have a student on vacation, another student who can't come in, and a few of my students didn't show up today even though they were supposed to, so I don't have as much to grade as I could, and it should be really quiet tomorrow, and I should be able to finish everything, but we shall see. I've got one student pretty much done and almost 2 students done. The other thing I worked on, I think I talked about it last time where I want it to be, and I did finish it, or get to where I needed or wanted to be. So this is the Winner in a Cup. Last time I didn't have any of this brown filled in, or anything in the middle of the actual cup of cocoa, so, or coffee. And Bendy Stitchy, I apologize again for completely misreading it. I know it's not a big deal, but she had left a comment asking about the cup, and I had thought like the house on the cup, and I thought she was talking about my, I don't have it with me, my coffee mug that I have a lot that has a house on it from the Winchester Mystery House. But she was really sweet and just was like, okay, yeah, like, I'll look into it. And I was like, yeah, didn't answer her question whatsoever. So this is where I'm at on it. Needs backstitching, but the whole house is totally done. It's hard to see, but there is some white up here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Which will look more, you'll be able to see it better once the backstitching and stuff gets in. Hey! Don't chew on that. So here's where I'm at. I would like to finish the inside of the cup, but we'll see where. There's also very beginnings of the candy cane. This isn't the actual candy cane itself, but it fits right in that area, so. I'm not going to backstitch this until probably the end, or at least until I have this whole like middle section done. But that's where that's at. I kind of became obsessed with it until I finished the house, and then I was like, I mean, I could go with it, but then I became obsessed again with Aurora, so. And it's got my, I don't think I showed this last time, my little Grinch needle minder. Got that from Nifty Needle Nannies. And I showed, I don't know if I showed on Aurora the needle minder on her. I wish they would release more of these, but my Aurora like glow in the dark, and she's missing an eye. I've had that happen with a couple of my needle minders. I need to find something to fill that in with because that drives me nuts. So I'll have to try to just find some black rhinestones that are small. But like these little stars on her dress glow in the dark. And I have a few princesses, but they didn't do them all. And I guess there's no current plans to do them, so I need to find, when I get to them, I need to find princesses for my other princesses. I don't know which one I'm planning on doing next for her. I'm thinking, or not for her, but which princess I plan to do when she's finished, which I know is quite a ways away, but I do have the material and the beads. I'm almost positive it's for Cinderella, but it could be Elsa. I don't remember who I was kind of hemming and hawing, and of course they're both blue dresses, so I hadn't quite decided which one I wanted to do next. The fabric isn't dyed yet, so I need to do that, but I've got some time. So, sorry, my cat took off the string from Aurora, so I had to put her back. As for haul, one of the things that I bought was Stitcherista Danielle did convince me to buy a diamond painting kit. So I actually bought one from Amazon. It's a 2-for-1 kit, so it's like 2 totally separate canvases, but everything for both, and it was only $12.99, so we'll see. I'll show you guys that when it comes. I ordered it yesterday, so it won't be here till tomorrow. I've got a lot of stuff coming tomorrow. Like I bought new body wash and shoes and what else did I buy? There's something else. But it feels like a lot because I really don't do that much online shopping. Or shopping in general except for cross stitch. So the 2 patterns that I bought before were, I know I've talked about this one, but it's the same designer who did Winter in a Cup, but this is Hogwarts in a Bottle. I don't think I've showed this one, but you have the Hogwarts Express, you have the actual Hogwarts, and the moon, so I thought this was cute. She has like 20 other designs that I want to stitch, but I needed to have Hogwarts. Needed it so much I forgot about it. And then I bought my first donut stitch, Alice in Wonderland. And it'd be awesome. I'm going to talk to Ashley about it. I don't even know if Hannah has them, but the Mooka Princesses, if they had an Alice and a Wendy, but so far there's not that many Peter Pan patterns like that are the same. I like all my stuff to match, and there's no Peter Pan in this either, so, but I figure I can stitch this for my husband and put it, and he can put it above his office chair or his office desk. I don't know how long. I had kind of bought it just to see what the patterns were like. I don't know if I would ever actually stitch it, but like it looks really easy, so maybe it'll be a car trip pattern. Probably will do these on Ada. But that's all my purchases, I think. I'm trying to remember if I bought any more. I did buy this fabric, which is like blue and silver, and it is, I think it shows it a little bit shiny. The silver is, yeah, you can see that. I bought this at Joann's just recently. I bought 2 yards of it, and this I'm planning on making the backing for my finishes of the Christmas Eve couriers. Now mind you, I say that like I'm super close to finishing even one. I mean, I could finish one in like a week, but yeah, no, not even close. But I bought enough for, I think, all of them, so I mean, I kind of went to Joann's last minute, and I didn't really plan on, or like plan out measurements or anything like that, so, but I think 2 yards should be enough. If not, this weekend probably I will measure it all out and see how much fabric I will need, and then go back and buy more, because they had like 3 bolts of it. I think it's a new fabric that they have in. That's what I think the lady said when she was cutting it, but
Cosmo, what? Come here. You gonna be noisy? You wanna come say hello? Want to say hi?
No, you just wanted to come up? Okay. Have your tail in my face? Awesome. Oops. Okay, so we have our tail on our face for this last part. So that's everything that I have, except for my good news story. I actually remembered this time. So my good news story today is the scientists at Harvard, and it's showing up backwards on my screen, so I hope you guys can actually read it, but have discovered a way to cheaply turn the carbon dioxide that's in the air that is causing global warming to be turned into gasoline, so that even though our cars would still be emitting CO2, it would be the same amount of CO2 that they were pulling to make the gasoline in the first place. So it wouldn't add any new CO2 to the air, which then eventually would go down because trees would like start to, you know, absorb the CO2. So it would actually eventually cause, even though it's technically a zero, I forget what they call it, like a net zero change in CO2, the trees would cause it to eventually go down. Now, mind you, this is, depending on how this is implemented, it could actually cause a large decline in CO2 by 2021 is what they're saying. But that's all depends on how it gets adopted, and of course we know that the oil companies have a large monetary control over the world. But this is a much cheaper, like they found a much cheaper way of doing it, so it probably actually would make more sense to do this versus paying oil companies. But anyway, here's hoping that that actually turns into a thing and we can start to get rid of global warming. Obviously, we have a long way to go with that, but baby steps can sometimes turn into giant steps. So that is everything I have for today. I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my beer, have some stitching, gear up for tomorrow, which should be super boring. So I might actually take my stitching to work and work on it there. And yeah, that's all I got for you. So short video today, only 23 minutes. So I will see you guys all next time. Thank you for commenting, subscribing, liking. Thank you for any suggestions you guys leave me. I only had one suggestion for my last update, which was to keep out Aurora, which was my plan anyway, so thank you, Caitlin, for that. And we'll see you guys all next time. Bye!